A Tesla Model 3 was hacked in less than 2 minutes. Now, this is obviously a pretty bad situation because you're not following this channel. And as for the Tesla, the thing is, if you have some sort of a computer, there's gonna be some sort of a way to break into it. The issue was demonstrated by some French researchers that afterwards also hacked the Tesla again, but in a different way, because they just love to flex, I guess. And well, probably also because you receive a cash prize if you actually pull off an attack, and in their case that was $350,000. The hacks allowed them to perform actions such as opening the frunk or the doors of the Tesla while the car was in motion. And then they also said that they could have taken over the entire car as well with just a bit more time. So hey, I'm just gonna be chilling in my old dumb car with a faulty central locking system, because hey, you can't hack it if it doesn't even work, right? So yes, I mean, this is pretty bad. It's a pretty shocking story because obviously somebody could hack a vehicle, take control of that vehicle, and maybe smash it into another vehicle, which would be pretty bad. But this sort of thing is really just quite normal for electronic devices. In fact, all the big tech companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft, and so on, they have conventions and they have systems in place so that if you're actually able to hack a piece of their software, you can report it to them and then you'll receive some sort of a cash prize. There's many programmers whose literal full-time job is just trying to hack into systems and then getting paid in return. Because that is just the nature of electronics, and this is only gonna get worse in the future as we train more AI systems like ChatGPT, for example, when we train AI systems in the realm of hacking. So they're only going to be able to hack, but they're going to know how to hack extremely well, way better than humans. Now, there's also some good news there because some rogue third-party organizations are probably not gonna have a few $1 million invested in like data centers, so they're actually going to be able, so they would actually be able to train the AIs. This is probably going to be something that the government is going to fund, or some sort of a tech company, because obviously it's going to be a lot easier to get funding that way instead of just getting a hold of a few million, probably quite a bit more than a few million, to actually be able to train an AI over the course of like a year or two in the realm of hacking. Speaking on the realm of hacking, a few years ago, I read a pretty interesting article, and it basically said that how some nuclear power plants around the world are actually still analog, which is pretty weird. So sure, they have some stuff digitalized because, I mean, you just have to these days, but it was pretty interesting. And these power plants, their main reasoning why they remained analog was because they were just like, look guys, we don't have enough funding. The stuff that we do have in the digital form is already pretty insecure, and we're pretty much just waiting for someone to hack us at some point. So we will keep all the main parts of the power plant, we'll just keep them analog, because that's the thing with electronics, especially if you're not going to be putting a lot of money into security. It's pretty much only a matter of time till you get hacked by some bad actor, because it's sort of following the same principle of like, for instance, you have a dumb car that does not have the ability of self-driving. Well, the thing is, if it doesn't have the ability to self-drive, then it can get hacked and smash into a wall. Right? It literally cannot do that, because obviously electronics are bringing many benefits. For instance, a Tesla can park itself. It can have collision avoidance. That's those sort of things. But there's also going to be bad parts from the technology. For instance, if we just think about the electronic doors on the Tesla, which I personally hate. So you just basically press the button and they open up on themselves. Sure, that's kind of fancy. That's kind of nice. But the thing is, if they fail, they're going to cost a lot more to be repaired. You're going to need a new motor. Who knows if you can even repair it yourself or with a mechanic, or if you need to go to Tesla officially. Whereas with normal physical doors, I mean, there's just a joint. There's really nothing that can go wrong. And if it does, it's a pretty easy fix. Not to mention for situations like in colder climates, when you get ice on your car, right? When you get iced all over and you try to open the door. If it's an electric door, it doesn't really have as much power as a full-grown person that can just like really yank on the door and just get it open, you know, crack the ice and just get inside the car. Whereas with someone like a Tesla, it's kind of like, you just gotta wait a little bit, you know? So to wrap it off, yes, a Tesla has gotten hacked. This is not the first time. It is not the last time. It's going to happen. And it's totally expected that it's going to happen. That's just the way that it is. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.